You drink it every day, but do you really know what's inside it? Today, I'm exposing 25 coffee brands that are not good for your health. Some of them might be sitting in your kitchen right now. Watch carefully before your next cup. Let's dive in. Number 25. Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons Double Double and French Vanilla mixes try to copy the cafe taste using shelf-stable powders, not real cream. They're mostly sugar, hydrogenated oils, and artificial flavors. The hydrogenated fats can harm heart health, while the high sugar load spikes blood, glucose, and insulin. Because it's marketed as a simple coffee mix, people often underestimate how dessert-like it really is. Regular use can contribute to weight gain, higher cholesterol, and increased diabetes risk. Very different from a plain brewed Tim Hortons coffee. Number 24. Trader Joe's Instant Coffee Packets. These packets carry a healthy image because of the Trader Joe's brand, but the formula is similar to typical 3-in-1 mixes. They usually contain corn syrup solids, hydrogenated or refined vegetable oils, and plenty of added sugar. That combination creates a fast blood sugar spike and adds inflammatory processed fats to your diet. Since it's just coffee, people may drink several cups a day without realizing they're consuming dessert-level calories. You'd be much better off with their plain instant coffee and adding real milk. Number 23. Ubon. Ubon positions itself as a premium supermarket coffee, but it's still a conventional, non-organic mass-market blend. Coffee is one of the most heavily treated crops, so non-organic beans are more likely to carry residues from synthetic fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. Over time, this exposure can add to your overall chemical load. Large plastic tubs also aren't ideal for long storage and heat, as they may potentially leach small amounts of plasticizers. While 1 cup isn't catastrophic, there are cleaner options with better sourcing and testing. Number 22. Maxwell House. Maxwell House keeps prices low by using cheaper blends, often including more acidic, higher caffeine Robusta beans. These can be harsher on the stomach, aggravating acid reflux and digestive discomfort. As a commodity coffee, beans are sourced and processed at massive scale, with less focus on minimizing defects, mycotoxins, or pesticide residues. Decaf versions may use chemical solvents many health-conscious people try to avoid. You don't get the antioxidant benefits and smoothness of higher quality, specialty, or organic coffee, but you are more likely to get bitterness and potential irritants. Number 21. Folgers. Folgers is the classic budget coffee, but its biggest issues are quality and sourcing. Beans come from large conventional farms worldwide, where chemical use can be heavy and regulations vary. Stored in huge quantities, low-grade beans are more prone to mold growth before roasting, which can increase mycotoxin risk, though still legal limit compliant. Many people also find it more acidic and irritating to the stomach compared with fresher, specialty beans. For individuals with autoimmune, gut, or migraine issues, this extra chemical and mold burden may be problematic. Number 20. Old Town White Coffee. Old Town White Coffee is beloved for its buttery, caramelized taste, but that flavor comes from processed fats and sugar. The mixes typically use palm kernel oil or similar fats plus a lot of sugar, delivering more calories and saturated fat than regular coffee. The white coffee style traditionally involves roasting with margarine and sugar, which can create oxidized fats and caramelized residues. In instant form, you're essentially drinking a sweet, fat-heavy beverage every day. Over time, that can worsen cholesterol profiles and promote weight gain. Number 19. G7 3-in-1 Instant Coffee. G7 is famous for strong aroma and rich flavor, but the 3-in-1 version sacrifices health for convenience. The powdered creamer is typically made from hydrogenated or refined vegetable oils, plus stabilizers and emulsifiers. Add in a high sugar content and strong caffeine dose, and you have a drink that rapidly spikes both blood sugar and heart rate. This can worsen anxiety, palpitations, and energy crashes. The actual coffee portion is relatively small. Most of what you're drinking is sweetened, processed fat rather than a simple cup of coffee. Number 18. Vina Cafe Instant Coffee Mix. Vina Cafe is marketed as bold Vietnamese coffee, but the mix relies heavily on sugar and non-dairy creamer. One small sachet can contain double-digit grams of sugar, and many people use more than one packet. The creamer comes from vegetable oils plus stabilizers, not real milk, adding processed fats to your daily intake. Extra additives help soften the sharpness of strong Robusta beans, but may irritate sensitive stomachs. Combined with high caffeine, you get a strong jolt followed by a crash, rather than steady, clean energy. Number 17. Copico 3-in-1 Instant Coffee. Copico is known for intense flavor, both in candy and instant coffee. That intensity is balanced with a lot of sugar and palm oil-based creamer. Palm oil in this ultra-processed form is high in saturated fat, which can negatively affect cholesterol when consumed regularly. The high sugar content further drives up triglycerides and adds empty calories. Because it mixes instantly and tastes like a treat, it's easy to drink multiple cups a day without realizing you're basically drinking coffee-flavored sweetened creamer, not a simple, low-calorie caffeine source. Number 16. Hills Brothers Cappuccino Mix. Hills Brothers flavored cappuccino powders focus on sweetness and creaminess, not health. Sugar is a main ingredient, followed by non-dairy creamers and thickeners like sodium, caseinate, and dipotassium phosphate. These additives help imitate foamy milk, but can cause bloating or digestive upset for some people. The sugar-to-coffee ratio is extremely high, meaning you're drinking a dessert with a faint coffee background. Regularly sipping these drinks adds a steady stream of fast-absorbing carbs and processed fats, which can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and elevated triglycerides. Number 15. Folgers Cappuccino Mix. Folgers Cappuccino Mix is another coffee that's mostly sugar and hydrogenated oil. The first ingredients are typically sugar and corn syrup solids, which raise blood sugar quickly and provide no fiber or nutrients. Hydrogenated soybean or coconut oils add creamy texture, but also introduce unhealthy trans-like fats linked to inflammation and heart disease. Because the drink looks like a simple latte, people may not realize they're effectively drinking hot candy. For anyone with diabetes, pre-diabetes, or high triglycerides, using this daily can significantly worsen metabolic health. Number 14. Maxwell House International Cafe. These flavored powders, French vanilla, Swiss mocha, etc., are nostalgic but far from healthy. Their base is usually sugar and non-dairy creamer made from corn syrup solids and refined oils, with very little actual coffee. Anti-caking agents and artificial flavors make it a highly processed product. The mild caffeine encourages people to add multiple spoonfuls, dramatically increasing sugar and calorie intake per cup. Over time, that habit can contribute to weight gain, blood sugar swings, and increased inflammation, especially if you drink it instead of plain brewed coffee. Number 13. Nescafé 3-in-1 packets. Nescafé 3-in-1 combines coffee, creamer, and sugar in one sachet, but the creamer is usually glucose syrup plus hydrogenated palm kernel oil, not real milk. Hydrogenated oils introduce trans-like fats known to worsen cholesterol and cardiovascular risk. The sugar content is high for such a small serving, and many people drink multiple packets per day. Since the actual coffee portion is small, you're essentially consuming sweetened, processed fat with a caffeine boost. That combination promotes insulin spikes, weight gain, and long-term strain on the heart and arteries. Number 12. Black Rifle Coffee. Black Rifle's canned espresso with cream products pack substantial calories, saturated fat, and sugar into a small can. The heavy cream base raises the drink's fat load significantly, which, combined with high caffeine, can stress the cardiovascular system. Caffeine raises blood pressure, and saturated fat affects cholesterol. Because it's marketed as a grab-and-go energy drink, it's easy to treat it like a simple cold brew, when nutritionally it's closer to a sweet coffee milkshake. Frequent use can quietly add a lot of extra calories and saturated fat to your diet. Number 11. Bolthouse Farms Mocha Cappuccino. Sold near smoothies and juices, Bolthouse Farms Mocha Cappuccino looks healthier than it is. A bottle typically contains a large sugar load and high calories, often more than a typical soda. Although it includes some protein, the overall effect is still a sweet, dessert-like drink. Thickeners such as carrageenan help create a creamy texture, but can aggravate digestion in sensitive people. The health halo of being in the produce section can mislead shoppers into drinking it daily when it should be considered an occasional treat at best. Number 10. Mr. Brown Iced Coffee. Mr. Brown is a popular canned coffee made with coffee extract, sugar, and milk powder. The high sugar content makes it easy to overconsume, while the milk powder is highly processed and may contain oxidized fats that aren't ideal for heart health. As with many canned drinks, the lining may contain chemicals like BPA-type resins, which can migrate into the beverage. Over time, combined with its low satiety, you're taking in extra calories and sugar without feeling full, which can promote weight gain and blood sugar instability. Number 9. Community Coffee Iced Lattes. Community Coffee's iced lattes, especially sweet flavors, turn a simple cup of coffee into a sugary, dairy-based treat. They rely on sugar and milk powders to create a thick, sweet drink. A small bottle can contain a surprising number of calories, often with little protein or fiber to balance the impact on blood sugar. Stabilizers used to keep the dairy smooth may bother sensitive stomachs. Instead of providing clean, steady caffeine, these lattes behave more like a sweet snack, promoting fat storage and energy crashes. Number 8. Victor Allen's Snickers Twix Iced Coffee. These candy-branded iced coffees are designed to taste like Snickers or Twix, which means lots of sugar, flavoring agents, and added fats. The coffee content is secondary. The main effect is a quick surge of sugar and calories. Because it's liquid, that sugar is absorbed very rapidly, putting extra strain on insulin response and increasing the risk of metabolic issues. Over time, saturated fats from added cream or oils further stress heart health. Drinking these regularly is nutritionally similar, or even worse, than eating the candy bars themselves. Number 7. Hostess Iced Lattes. Hostess Iced Lattes mimic treats like Twinkies or Ding Dongs in liquid form, so they're built around sweetness and artificial flavor rather than coffee. They combine high sugar, artificial flavors, and processed fats to recreate cake and cream flavors. You get almost no beneficial nutrients or antioxidants, just fast-absorbing sugar that spikes blood glucose and insulin. Regularly drinking such ultra-sweet beverages can dull your taste for naturally less sweet foods and reinforce sugar cravings. Over time, That loop contributes to tooth decay, weight gain, and higher diabetes risk. Number 6. Barissimo iced coffee. Aldi's Barissimo flavored iced coffees are inexpensive, but nutritionally poor. They're sweetened heavily and stabilized with gums and additives to stay shelf-stable and creamy. One serving can carry a soda-like sugar load, and it's easy to drink more than one serving at a time. The lack of fiber or protein means that sugar hits the bloodstream quickly, contributing to energy spikes and crashes. Additives and flavorings can also irritate sensitive digestive systems. Compared with unsweetened cold brew, these drinks offer all the calories with almost none of the benefits. Number 5. International Delight Iced Coffee. International Delight Iced Coffee is really a coffee-flavored dairy dessert in a carton. High fructose corn syrup is usually near the top of the ingredient list, followed by skim milk and stabilizers like carrageenan. HFCS is strongly associated with fatty liver and metabolic problems when consumed in excess. Because it's sold by the half-gallon, people often pour large glasses and underestimate how much sugar and calories they're drinking. Over time, this habit can significantly contribute to weight gain, abdominal fat, and unstable blood sugar levels. Number 4. Monster Java. Monster Java combines the worst parts of energy drinks and sugary coffee. Each can typically delivers high doses of caffeine, sometimes from multiple sources, plus sugar, taurine, and other stimulants. This combination can sharply raise heart rate and blood pressure, increasing the risk of palpitations and anxiety, especially in teens or people with heart conditions. The sugar load adds another metabolic hit, promoting fat gain and blood sugar swings. Instead of a moderate caffeine boost, you're getting an aggressive stimulant cocktail that can overtax your cardiovascular and nervous systems. Number 3. McDonald's McCafe Frappe. Bottled McCafe Frappes are formulated to be sweet, creamy, and stable on shelves, not to support health. They usually contain a low percentage of actual coffee, relying instead on sugar, cream, and thickeners like carrageenan and cellulose. One bottle can exceed 40 grams of sugar, similar to or more than a can of soda. With no fiber or meaningful protein, that sugar rushes into your bloodstream, promoting fat storage, particularly around the abdomen. For someone drinking these regularly, the effect on weight and insulin sensitivity can be substantial. Number 2. Dunkin' Donuts Bottled Iced Coffee. Dunkin's bottled iced coffees are convenient, but heavily processed. Many flavors use high fructose corn syrup and stabilizers to keep dairy smooth without refrigeration. Calorie counts often approach 250-300 per bottle, mostly from sugar and milk solids. That's a big hit for a drink that doesn't fill you up. The rapid glucose spike stresses the pancreas and encourages fat storage, while artificial flavors can drive cravings for more sweets. Compared to a basic iced coffee with a splash of milk, these bottled versions are much harsher on metabolic health. Number 1. Starbucks Bottled Frappuccino. Starbucks bottled frappuccinos are essentially coffee milkshakes. A single bottle often contains over 40 grams of added sugar, more than many people should have in an entire day. The combination of sugar and low-fat dairy creates a calorie-dense drink that does little to reduce hunger. When consumed on an empty stomach, it causes a rapid blood sugar spike, followed by a crash that leaves you tired and craving more sugar. Used regularly, this pattern promotes weight gain, insulin resistance, and increased risk for type 2 diabetes and fatty liver.